Hi guys, Yasmo here and welcome to the first episode of my new series, which is going to focus on tips and tricks for Path of Exile, focused on one specific topic per video. And in this video we're going to go over socket colors. There is more to socket colors than you might think, especially if you're a beginner, and this is primarily who this series is going to be directed at beginner players who want to learn more about Path of Exile specific concepts, and they want to dive deeper and figure out how to use certain mechanics more efficiently and in more advanced ways. So of course socket colors on items can be changed with chromatic orbs. Everyone knows that when they start playing the game, but how are they getting changed? What does it depend on? At first you might think that it depends on the type of armor, but it actually depends on the stat requirements. So if we take this item, for example, here that I'm gonna work with in this episode. Okay, so we've got an item that has a requirement 45 strength and 45 dexterity. This means that if I use chromatic orbs, it's about 50%. About 50% of the sockets are going to be red, and 50% are going to be green, right? And as you can see, I clicked one. That's how it rolls. It's just random, but like mostly you're gonna get green and red, right? That's what you're gonna get most of the time because of the requirements of the stats. And every item that can have sockets has like stat requirements, and the higher the stat requirements, the higher the weight of that color. And of course red is represented by strength, green represents dexterity, and blue intelligence. So this item, I for example want 4 blue. So what can I do to acquire 4 blue? First of all, I can just spam chromatics, right? But before I do that, I would like to find out what are the chances of getting that? And yes, you can find that out, and you do that with the vorici chromatic calculator. I will post a link in the description. This calculator allows you to calculate the chances of like getting the desired color. So let's take this item as an example: 45 strength, 45 dex, right? So requirements, we got 45 strength, 45 dex, and then desired colors, we want 4 blue. Okay, we want 4 blue, and total sockets 4. Okay, so let's calculate. And what do we see here? So if I wanted to use chromatics, average cost of chromatics would be 9,703 chromatics. Okay, average attempts. So that's how much I would have to spam to get it reliably, right? I might get lucky, but I might get unlucky. Another way is these. These are vorici bench. This means like this crafting bench here. We can go and see the recipe. If you type, for example, blue, you'll see all these options. I can have on this item at least 1 blue socket for 4 chromatics, at least 2, at least 3. So this calculator shows that the best option would be to use at least 3 option, and after 1,200 chromatics I can get all of them blue, right? So that is very, very difficult item to color, right? And how else do you do that? If you look at all the recipes here, like you can only get up to 3 of the same color, or 2 of one color and 1 of another color, right? And you can see all of the costs here. Those are recipes you can just acquire on your crafting bench. Other than that, the best way to color that would be, in my opinion, right, to do, first of all, at least 3 blue sockets, do it once, and then use a socket method of coloring. So let's do that. So let's do at least 3 blue sockets, and then these 3 blue sockets should be colored blue. There we go. And now if you look at the sockets, they actually have, or there is an order to them. So this is socket number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Same if you look at a chest armor or something like that, an item with 6 sockets. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is number 6. Okay, it's always in this order. So if you check for sockets here, sockets, and we see there are options for using jeweler orbs to reforge an item to have 3 sockets, 4, 5, and up to 6, right? So what we can do right now is keep these 3. If we select 3 sockets and spend 3 jewelers, this will disappear. This red one will disappear, right? So we made it into 3 sockets, and then we re-roll it again to 4 sockets, and we only have to re-roll that 1 socket. All these 3 are already rolled blue on a very unlikely color for this item. so we don't have to worry about them. So all we have to do is keep crafting the 4 sockets over and over, and then 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, until we get the blue, right? And that way we only have to re-roll 1 socket at a time. There we go, we got blue. So this was much easier than using whatever the calculator was showing, right? Which was 9,700 chromatics. I only spent, what, 120 chromatics, and then like 20 jewelers or something like that, right? And that way you can color items that are very unlikely to get the desired colors into whatever you want, right? So let's 4-link this again and put my skeletons back in. There we go. And that's how you color super unlikely things to color. Another thing you can do is, like, if this is like let's say you need 5 off colors in a 6-link, right? Before you make a 6-link, what you do is you do, let's say in this armor, what does it have requirement? It has int and strength, but let's say I wanted 5 green in this, right? Let's say I wanted 5 green, but it had strength and int requirement. So what I would do is I would craft 3 green at first, and I would keep re-rolling this socket, right, until it's green, and then I would keep re-rolling this socket, which would be pretty expensive. So let's see. Okay, 5 sockets, so 70. I would have to spend 10, 70, 10, 70, 10, 70. But it would still be better than using chromatics and trying to get 5 green. It would still take less time. And then after I get 5 green, then I can do just 6 sockets, and this will most likely be blue or red, right? So that's how you do that to get 5 off colors. Another thing you can do is get white sockets. So how do you get white sockets? There are a couple of ways. One way that is unreliable is corrupting an item. So either using a vol orb, or in the temple you can corrupt an item, and that has like 25% chance, I think, to roll white sockets. So that's one way of acquiring them, but that is not reliable because it can brick your item and so on. So what you actually want to do is, either when you're crafting the item, if it's a rare item especially that you want to make, you can use encrusted fossils. Encrusted fossils can give you a chance to have white sockets. So you can make an item that has like 3 white sockets, and you'll see a lot of the time people are selling these crafted chest pieces, for example, with like red, green, and then 3 white sockets, so that people can swap in and out different skills without having to recolor like annoying colors on a chest piece, for example, right? So that's one way how you can do it. You just do it with the fossils, and you give the items white sockets. But if it's an item, let's say you're using a unique item, right? Let's say you're using a unique item and you actually want white sockets in that because you want to switch for bosses a green gem and for clearing a blue gem or something like that. So in order to do that, you want to use Betrayal. In Betrayal, if you set Vorici to be in research, then he will give you a chance to like augment an item with white sockets. It doesn't corrupt the item, it just changes sockets to white, and it will change either 1 or 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 random sockets into white. So ideally you want Vorici rank 3, and when he's rank 3 he will change up to 3 sockets into white sockets, and it will be random ones, right? Then also in this league, in Harvest, but that is only specific to this league, there are seeds that can give you an option to like recolor a couple of red sockets into something that will be blue or green or whatever. There are options for seeds to recolor them. I don't think I have any of them. Let's check color. No, I don't think we have any colors here. We don't have anything for colors here as far as I know, because it doesn't say even on these seeds. But there is an option with the seeds to do that. So that's it. Hopefully you learned something. That's it for this episode. In the next episode I'll tackle just another concept that is like fundamental to the game, so that mostly new players can learn something, but even the players who play for a little bit longer probably will find something useful and helpful, like this socket coloring method in that video. All the videos in this series will be in their separate playlist, and I will link that playlist in the description below under every single video as well. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.